An improving labor market and lower gas prices are supposed to help retailers like Macys because it puts more money in the pockets of consumers. But that wasn't the case this time around. The department store operator reported a decline in revenue and earnings in the most recent quarter. That sent Macys shares lower in trading today. So if consumers aren't buying as much at department stores, what are they buying? Courtney Reagan looks for the answer.
It's tough to be a clothing retailer these days. Macys is the latest retailer to report results hurt by changing consumer spending preferences. Profit and sales both falling short of expectations, causing the department store to cut its full-year forecast. While broader data reveals that consumers are spending, Macys CEO Terry Lundgren says shoppers are diverting spending to other areas, items that Macys doesn't sell.
You're just seeing where the consumer is spending, and definitely you're starting to see a little uptick in consumer spending in the second quarter versus the first. Not great, but a little bit better. Is in automobiles, it's in housing, it's in healthcare, it's in certain apps that they're downloading and like. And they're going to get to our categories, but they certainly weren't there to the degree we expected them to be this last quarter.
But there are concerns that consumers won't return to spending in clothing and other traditional retail categories like they once did.
I do try to save about 20% of each paycheck and put that directly into savings so I don't touch it.
Nothing is an impulse buy anymore. Everything's like, I got to hem and haw and think about it for a few weeks before I'll actually, especially if it's like a big ticket item.
Now that I have more income, definitely I can use it towards my student loans. Also, I can pitch in more for rent.
There really is a shift in preferences. Technology, eating out, traveling, anything Disney or Apple related. When it comes down to it, I don't think that this is very temporary.
Smartphone plans and streaming entertainment subscriptions are taking a bigger bite out of monthly budgets. Automobile sales at near record highs is evidence consumers are spending more in big ticket categories, taking more from smaller, more discretionary categories like clothing and shoes. And previous quarter results from Home Depot and Lowe's show strong spending on home improvement, along with an improving housing market. With results still to come from JCPenney, Walmart, Target, and more, some analysts are concerned Macys could be the canary in the coal mine. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Courtney Reagan.